We're here to prove it's possible, not just for us, but for every woman brave enough to go for more. We believe success is sweeter when it's shared, and that your next level comes faster when you're surrounded by women who truly get it. This episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Girls Trip Business Mastermind Retreat, where big goals, belly laughs, and bold action all belong in the same room. Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are tackling the conversation of what does wealth mean to us and asking yourself the question because, the automatic thought is that wealth is about a bank account, but we think that it means much more than that. And we each have our own list of what that looks like. So we're wondering also and challenging you to talk about what's on your list for a wealthy life. Jay, why don't you start us off? What's something that you consider wealth?
Well, I just think as summer winds down, summer's my season. Summer's how I like to spend my time. Like if I could just exclusively live in one season, it would be summer. So I love summer. And although it doesn't have the comfort of a routine and the kids off to school and all the things that I also love. I love the abundance of summer. I love going to the farmer's market and having fresh produce and everything's in season. And so you get to enjoy the cherries and you get to enjoy the strawberries and you're not like, oh, these are hydroponically grown and these are disgusting, from a big box store. So I love the abundance of it. I love that there's flowers and that there's leaves all over the trees and everything just feels really full and beautiful and abundant. I love that. So to me, wealth is abundance of everything. There's food, there's flowers, there's time, there's just abundance of everything. The other thing
is why we are not identical twins, because I've never even considered any of those things to be part of my wealth. I mean, I should. I like your perspective, but I'm okay, interesting. Thanks for bringing that up.
I don't know. Maybe you need to do Deepak Chopra's 21 Days of Abundance because...
Potentially, yes. Or move to BC. I don't know. Something. Okay.
It's a great meditation series if anyone's looking. Anyways, I also think that freedom. For me, the biggest pillar of my wealth is how much freedom I get. I am not somebody who can have too much restraint. I couldn't have a conventional job where I, am told when I get to spend my 2 weeks vacation, how I get to spend them, whether I'll be on call for my 2 weeks vacation. None of that is in alignment with wealth. I don't care if I got paid $10 million, but I was a prisoner to my company. It just wouldn't work for me. I have to have the freedom to show up to the things that matter the most to me.
For sure. And I think it's even smaller than your vacation. It's moments like getting your kids off to their first days of school. And if you had a conventional job, you would have been late. You would have been taking time off. You would have been, if you do have a sick kid, you're now taking up sick days that aren't even necessarily your sick days. So I do think even as a parent, freedom's a bigger thing than ever. The more, because you do need more time in your life to do the things you need to do.
Yeah. And yeah, for sure. I mean, I got to the outside world, a really great job opportunity 8 years ago. And I lasted 1 week because I was told I couldn't come in half an hour later than my normal time, even though I was going to stay later. And this was before I even accepted the job. I had said my first child is starting preschool. It's her very first day ever being away from me. I would really like to be there for her to go to see her off to preschool. Right. I will be in at 8:30 instead of 8. I'm willing to stay late. I told them all of this was happening before I took the job. Yeah, no problem. The day before rolled around. Nope, that's not going to work. There was no good reason for it not working. And later that day I quit. And I was I am not going to be a prisoner for anyone or anything.
Totally.
And I know that's a nice luxury. And for me, it was a huge financial risk at the time.
Yes.
But it just felt so out of alignment with how I wanted to live my life. To me, wealth is how you want to live your life. What makes you feel you have it all.
Yeah.
And for me,
freedom. Yeah.
For me,
Go ahead.
it's the freedom to show up for my first child's preschool orientation or first day of preschool or first day of school, to show up at the volleyball game at 3:30, or to be there for hockey practice, ringette practice, baseball practice. Like, I'm not willing to just like miss out on life because I have this good paying job.
Right. Well, and not to be confused with freedom, because freedom's my like North Star. It's my thing too. That's what wealth means. It's like I am making my own schedule. I am deeply, deeply grateful to work from home. That is something like if I got a regular job that was from home, I would have a better time with it, an easier time with it than a job that was in an office. Like just with my physical situation, as far as being in a wheelchair and all of that, being able to make money from home is very much a luxury to me. That is an actual like sign of like my wealthy life. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe it doesn't mean lots of money, maybe it does mean lots of money, but I have like to get to just my commute is from my room after I get ready in the morning to my desk. That's in my within the walls of my home, not fighting the elements, not having to get into the snow and drive a car and have the stress of that every day. I can't even explain how much energy that would take up for me, physical and mental and emotional, just because I would worry constantly. I'd be constantly worried, like, what happens if I get caught in a snowstorm and I can't get myself out? Or what if I got in an accident? And, you know, and then it would also impact my husband, my family, because they'd be worrying for me as well. And they'd sometimes be bailing me out and leaving their jobs to do the things that they need to do. So, but when I say freedom and when we talk freedom, I think that there can be a really big misunderstanding, and I talked about this on we've talked about this on past episodes. With you don't have to work. Like you make your own schedule, so work 3 days a week instead of 5. And like if you can do your job and make the amount of money you want in 3 days, I please do. I highly recommend that as well. A lot of entrepreneurship requires as many or way more hours. You
Mm-hmm.
just choose to do them at different times. If I'm my own boss, I can work till 8 o'clock at night if I need to. Like I had a day this week where Darren wasn't home and I have a million things going on. This is a little bit of a busy season for me. And we have a girls trip coming up and all these things. So there's just a lot to do. And like same with you, your kids are finally back. There's a lot going on in your world as far as like work and stuff goes that you've had to put on the back burner to put your family first for the summer. But that doesn't mean you didn't work this summer because you were showing up for your kids. It meant that you worked from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. before they got
Mm-hmm.
up, maybe. And if you do have a conventional job without a lot of freedom, they want you in business hours because business hours are when their customers need to get a hold of you. So working at 4 a.m. doesn't necessarily work for a business. And like, fair enough. If I'm the business owner and I need somebody there doing answering questions and working with others, nobody else, I can't talk a lot of people into working at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know,
Yeah,
whereas
absolutely.
you can talk yourself into working at 4 o'clock in the morning if that works for you. And you and I are complete opposites in our time freedom, in that if I get the chance to work in the evening, I would pick the evening because that's when my brain works.
Never.
And you would never.
Never.
Like
I have a
you're
rule. I have like a hard and fast rule with Ray that he is not to speak business to me past 5
yeah,
p.m.
because
I
you
just
guys do
can't
business
handle it.
together. Yeah,
I
you guys are business
cannot
guys.
handle
Yeah,
it. And he
yeah,
knows if he like breaches the rule and I say I'm not willing to talk about it, he knows that like that's the end of the story. She'll
yeah,
talk to me in the morning about it. And I
exactly.
just don't have it in me at 5 p.m. or
Yeah.
later.
And like honestly, I swear to God, some days my brain doesn't start working until like 10 o'clock in the morning. I can do busy work, but I cannot do like the detail oriented, you know, make sure I'm dotting the I's and crossing the T's work that I need to do sometimes until I'm fully focused and into it. And that takes like waking up. And so I can like go through emails or I can answer quick questions. I can do busy work. I just can't do the detail work at my like wrong time of day.
So the way I think my brain works is that I wake up full of like brain power, and
Yeah.
as I spend the brain power, less and less is available.
Yeah,
It's like a
you're a
bank
gas
account.
tank.
It's like
Yeah,
a bank account. As I start spending through the day, less and less is available. So in the morning, I got like a big fat bank account of brain power. And as the
totally.
evening approaches, I got nothing left. I went on a shopping spree that day. I have nothing to give to anybody as far as like smarts up there. I can take kids to sports and do all the things, but the
It's
other
busy
thing
work
that,
to me. Like you don't need to focus completely and like be dialed in on your task to in order to do your busy work. Your busy work is like getting the ball uniforms and
Mhm,
making sure and loading the truck and driving and
mhm.
you can do those things. Like you don't need to go to bed
No, I
after
don't go to bed at 5. No, my motherhood is just ramping up at 5 p.m. I have
exactly,
17
totally.
sports to get to and dinners to make.
Exactly. So are there any other areas of wealth that
Yeah.
you feel like are important for you?
Yes. One of the biggest areas of wealth for me, another like guiding star for me is like happiness. Like not just existing in this life, but like actually having a good life. Like to me, wealth means enjoying what I'm doing, having fun, getting to do things that like light me up, go on vacations, do the things that actually like bring me joy. And so whatever that looks like for the listeners, like whether that's like painting, reading, journaling, yoga, hiking in the trees, in the woods, like whatever that looks like. Does your life consist of any form of fun, any form
Yes.
of play,
And
any
on like
form
a
of joy, any form of
yeah.
happiness?
And on a regular basis. Like my life doesn't include hiking, obviously. Like the wheelchair and hiking isn't the greatest combo. And I'm fine with it, but I do love socializing. So like for me, I need to like work in seeing friends every week, seeing having friends over for like a dinner or a girls' night or something, seeing you guys like, I need to go have like a week where you guys fill my cup and
For
that
sure. I think
that's an important part of my routine.
I think everybody has like a social bucket. Mine just happens to be quite large. Like I need a lot of social interaction to feel content in
Same.
my social life. Whereas like introverts, they're like, oh, if some people are just too chatty for me and I hate that. And I'm like, what? Okay, I
Or
can't
I have a
and
girlfriend. Yeah,
everybody's bucket is a different size.
totally.
But that's a huge one for me is that like, have I interacted with enough people in a day to feel content and satisfied? It's
Totally.
weird, but I don't know.
Well, and like I have a girlfriend that says I hate small talk. So if it's only a small talk conversation, it just makes her feel tired, annoyed, like she's not interested. It's hard for her. She doesn't enjoy it. Whereas like honestly, I could chat with anyone and that can count as an interaction that brought me joy. Like
Hmm.
if I meet a nice grandma in the waiting room at the hair salon and have a nice talk with her, she doesn't have to be my best friend after, but I can count it as like positive interaction.
Yeah.
And so it's also what type of like social thing you need. Like it's the bucket has different like needs for different people. Yeah. So I agree. I totally agree that like happiness is a form of wealth because I do think that if you have a life filled with fretting and stress and
Or
there isn't a level of
even
happiness.
worse for me than like fretting and stress, because that can be like snippets of time. You're in a stressful season or something really stressful happened at work or in life or whatever. That's like a snapshot in time. For me, the biggest like indicator of like bankruptcy in your life is the mundane, like where you just literally survive, you just exist. Nothing brings you joy. You get up, you
Yeah,
drink your coffee, you go, like you do everything and nothing lights you up. That is
for
like,
sure.
oh,
Well, and isn't that like a hack to happiness is to let those little things be enjoyable. Like find the coffee creamer and the perfect pod that you love and you wait like I wake up and be like, oh, I get my coffee now because I only get one coffee a day. So it's my like
me
special
too.
morning routine and I'm super grateful because I get to sit at my desk and look out the window and like our neighborhood has lots of birds and cute little squirrels and like I literally like make that a special thing. And when Darren was working from home during COVID, we would do like let's have lunch on the deck because we have a short summer season, so that felt like we were calling those like lunch dates and turning them, or we could be like we have to wipe the table because it's got dust all over it and it's not worth it to go outside, like you can either romanticize your life and make the best out of the mundane, or you can be miserable about and be like, there's other people that get to go to Starbucks every day and I have to work from home, so I don't go out in the morning, so I have to make my own coffee. Like it's mindset and perspective. And
Mhm.
if you look at the mundane as like the worst case scenario, it will be. And if you look at it as like, yay, it's time for my coffee. I'm making something delicious for supper tonight. I'm excited about that. Or I'm excited because I have plans this weekend with friends or whatever it looks like.
Mhm.
Life is can be exactly what your mind believes it is. So you have to be so
Absolutely.
careful. So careful.
And then the last thing on my list for wealth is like spiritual wealth. Like how connected do I feel to like whatever it is that's like guiding me? For me, it's the universe. Like I
Right.
am a universal truth kind of a gal. For some people, it's like, a very specific God that their religion believes in. But for me, it's like, do I feel content that like everything is happening for a reason? And for me, this has a lot to do with mindset, because if I feel like, well, I know it doesn't feel great in the moment, but I know that I trust the universe is doing it the greatest good for me, then it's easier to come out of it. So it's basically like keeps my mindset on track. And I know if I've pulled away from like my belief in like that, in my spirituality and my belief in myself, then that's when my mindset really starts to suffer, because I'm like, life is hard, everything's hard, everything
Yeah,
bad is happening to me. Like,
totally.
I think everyone has moments of it, like when you're PMSing or really tough circumstances happen, you can have those moments where you do feel like the walls are caving in. But for me, it's that like abundance is believing that no matter what happens, it'll all work out. Believing that like every bad situation is just like a building block to a much better one. And
Well,
so,
or like there's days it was about, I don't have too many like cranky days, but I had a cranky day like 2 weeks ago and I was just crabby and I couldn't stop being. And the only thing I kept saying to myself is, tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. And like I did what I could that day to like be nice about things, but I knew that that wasn't there to stay. It was probably just like some hormonal thing, or I don't really know why it happened that day, and it's fine. Oh, you're allowed to feel your feelings, and whatever they were, I just let them be, but didn't try to talk myself out of them. But I knew that having that like higher power, or like the idea that everything does happen for a reason. It's like for whatever reason, I needed to have this cranky day, and I'm going to have the cranky day. And then hopefully tomorrow I wake up on the right side of the bed. And if I do that too many days in a row where it became a question as to like, why is my mood shifting, or why is I would treat it like a little bit of an investigation. I'd figure out what I could do differently, like, or what isn't in alignment, and do the micro hacks along the way. And just things that I did do, it was like, okay, you know what? Go move your body. Because if your insides are just like bugging you, there are like outside things that you can do that will make you feel a tiny bit better in the moment. And
mhm.
if that's watching trash TV while you do your bike, fine. Watch trash, take your mind off
It's
whatever.
actually one of my like
Mine
favorite
too.
things to
It's
do.
the best therapy
Speaking
other
of
than
like
like,
getting joy out of the mundane, like give me a
exactly.
load of laundry with the door closed and some smut TV, and I am in paradise.
Exactly. Totally.
Okay, I know I said the last one was my last one, but
Yeah.
truly this is my last one, and it's money.
Well,
Because
that's
money,
what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, okay, so you missed the only one, or like not the only one, but the most obvious one. We touched on it, but it is money.
of course, and like universe, woohoo, are you
Yep.
listening? We like money because at
Roll it
the end
in.
of the day, money buys freedom. Money buys
Yes. Happiness.
has
Like,
the opportunity to give you more freedom to do more of the things that you
to
love, to
make
bring
you
you more
happy.
joy. Yes,
Exactly.
it
It
gives you
takes
the
away
opportunity.
stresses. It takes
Mhm,
away stresses that cause for a lot of heaviness. And
mhm.
money is something that I'm really good to call in and work really hard for. Like I'm
Yep.
not saying like, oh, universe, okay, I'll take cash. I'm going to be suntanning on the deck while you deliver.
Well, unless the universe feels like doing that, because then it can.
I'm open. I'm open. But I know that but you know what's interesting about money is that when you do find something that you love and you figure out a way to trade that for money, it is a big source of self-trust,
Mhm,
of happiness,
mhm.
of it helps your mindset. It help, like, to me it's very much, and maybe I'm like working more than the average person or something, but I think I like working because I like the things I work on. If I hated my job, I don't think I would get the same payoff of what that looks like. And that is what entrepreneurship brings to me, is all of these things, but the payoff of like making a living that I'm really proud of,
Mhm.
doing work that I'm really happy and proud,
Yeah, for sure.
So, all
Well,
right.
tell us what wealth means to you. I want to hear what wealth means to other people.
And did we miss anything? Like,
Yeah.
is there like a big area that we aren't talking about that you're like, you know what it is to me and it's not something we discussed? Please share. We would love to hear from you. We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you will subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks, and chat next time.